UFC 300, mained by Alex Pereira versus Jamahal Hill, co-mained by Weili Zhang Yang, with the BMF title on the line of Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje. Let's jump right into this one. The main card opener of two former champions, Davison Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt. The opener for this card, man, already starts off with a banger. I've seen a lot of people picking Cody for this fight. I can kind of see why, not to sound like a Cody Garbrandt revisionist or apologist. I've always called this guy kind of trash after his fall off. But, after really looking at it, Cody's only losses aren't to bad names or low-ranking contenders. They're to solid contenders like Kattar, France, and TJ Dillashaw. He didn't lose to bad people. He lost to like Rob Font and Pedro Nunes, but I don't rate him highly. But Cody No Chin Garbrandt, he looks impressive in short bursts. Like he gives off the impression of a really good fighter. But when you watch him against high level competition, he just fucking melts. This is the same guy who got TKO'd by Pedro Nunes. Like three out of his four losses are by TKO. This guy's chin is a fucking issue. Think about that. This guy's only been brought to a decision loss once. Every other time it's been by KO. And you're putting him in there with one of the hardest hitting flyweights we've ever seen. Like I don't understand how people can say, "Oh yeah, this is a guaranteed win for our boy Cody." I don't hate Cody. I think he's grown a lot as a man over the years, but I really just don't see him coming back. And people will say, "Well, he might stay at range. He might keep it more technical. He might wrestle." I don't see that. I don't see him doing this. I think he's going to keep it at range. I think he's going to keep it nice and slow. But I think Figueredo, even up a division, he doesn't have the height advantage, and the reach advantage. I still wait. He does have the reach advantage. How the fuck does he have the reach? I only just now realized this. I thought it was the other way around. Anyways, I really don't see this going well. Like, think about this. Pedro Nunez was able to TKO this man after getting the wrestling advantage. If you do not think Figgy will be able to get this man to the ground or get this man in a position where he will overextend or he'll leave his chin up and he won't put him out, you're ridiculous. Like, I don't see it happening. I say Davison Figueiredo via round two KO. Moving up in the card, Bobby King Green versus Jim fucking Miller, dude. Now this is a absolute dog of a fight, bro. Two old dogs fighting it out. I love to see it. I think Jim Miller fighting at UFC 100, UFC 200, and now UFC 300 is just perfect. Not to jinx it. That being said, I think this is the perfect opponent for an old dog like Jim Miller, Bobby Green. Green is always exciting with his slick boxing, but his almost hands to his waist style just gives me anxiety. I don't like it over long distances. Yeah, it kind of works for him because he makes it work, especially in MMA where you don't really see it that often. But I just don't like. I don't like seeing it. I just really feel like at any point this man can get just straight dusted out. I think and I think Jim Miller's going to keep it basic. I think he's going to come in with ones and twos, keep it nice and basic, occasional leg kicks. If Bobby Green leaves himself open, I think Jim Miller will shoot a takedown, but I don't see Bobby Green doing the same. And that's not because Bobby Green's bad or whatever. I genuinely do not think this man wants to wrestle or wants to use jujitsu. I think if he can get a fight done with just his hands, he will do so. With that being said, it's also an unknown whether or not Bobby Green will come back the same after his fight with Jolan Turner. That ref stoppage was really, really bad. It was like a 11 punch combo that Jalen was landing on Bobby Green. The ref, he was blind. They had Stevie Wonder as the ref. It's really it's concerning. With all that being said, I have to go with the older fighter in Jim Miller. I know that's crazy, but I see Jim Miller by decision beating Bobby Green. Moving up into the card, my least favorite lesbian Native American, Jessica Andrade versus Mara Rodriguez. I have Jessica Andrade. Um, I used to think she was good a long time ago, but she's shown me otherwise with her last performance. I don't rate either of these women highly. I used to believe once upon a time that she was a capable striker. She's proved me wrong. She made Blanche feel like it looked like an okay striker, and Jessica Andrade brought Lauren. I'm a fighter. Murphy to a unanimous decision. You need to be finishing people like that. Why are you bringing Lauren fighter Murphy to a decision, bro? Like you can't be doing that. I'm saying all this like Rodriguez is better. She's not. She lost to De Lunes and went on a split decision with fucking Carla Esparza. Like speaking of people you need to be finishing, Carla Esparza. Like I kind of get it with her. It's the wrestling, but it's just you can't be doing that, man. You can't. These are the types of losses and wins I don't like looking at. Like it's Lauren Murphy and Carla Esparza. Like oh man, this better not just be the piss break of UFC 100. If they break up like the hype for in the crowd because they put on this fight, I'm gonna be pissed. With that being said, I'm going with Jessica Andrade. She's one of the few women in the UFC who actually throws strikes like a man, and I mean that like she uses proper technique and really does put genuine power behind it. You got to forget she has the L factor, and a lot of people don't talk about this. Women who are lesbians, they typically fight better. Like I know that's a little like I know that's kind of like sexist or whatever, but you got to realize that's the truth. You know. It only took her a decade to get good at throwing punches. No rush to Jessica Andrade. But with that being said, Mariana Rodriguez is also 4 years older. She's 36, and she's arguably lost to worse competition. I know she's on a bit of a streak now, but I just can't. I can't pick her with like this type of motion. Really, that's what it is. I can't pick her, bro. I just can't. That being said, I said Jessica Andrade via decision. I know you're like, what the fuck? I thought you said Jessica Andrade and throws hands like a real man. With that being said, all women fights go to decision. If you ever pick a women's fight to go to like a sub or like a KO, I don't care if it's a KO specialist or a sub, like a really good jiu-jitsu fighter, they always bring it to a decision. It's like the powers of women, female MMA. They always, no matter what, I don't care how bad it is, they will somehow bring it to a decision. They have a superpower, bro. A real exciting fight in the card. Jolan Turner versus Renato Moicano. Money Moicano. He wants money. All right. I'll say that how I sees it. Jolan Turner is going to tune up Renato Moicano on the feet and does not allow him to get close and act his grappling game. I like Moicano. I genuinely do. I like his mentality. I like the way he thinks. I like the way he's like, you can only be in this game for so long, so I have to make the best of it. I have to make my money when I can. I have to take the money fights. I have to look for it, and I respect him. I deeply respect him. With that being said, I do not believe Moicano has the striking ability. I don't think he has the footwork. I don't think he's good enough as a striker or as a grappler to close the distance on one of the longest, rangiest lightweights we've ever seen in Jalen Turner. Like I I didn't think Hooker was going to be able to Jalen Turner. I thought Jalen Turner was going to be the new age Hooker, but Hooker was able to use his range of powers to break Turner down and finish him. Right? I do not see the same happening for Moicano. I do not see it. Moicano does have a chance, but like what's the chances? What's his chances of getting him down? Jalen Turner just whiffs a shot. Wakano ducks down, grabs his legs, boom, takes him down. Or not Wakano, Jalen overextends, and Wakano, is able to capitalize on it, gets him down. In those scenarios, I really do see Wakano beating him. Like it's not too far off. Not to say that Jalen Turner's takedown defense is bad. It's not. It's pretty good. It's just Wakano is clearly he has the clear grappling advantage in this fight. You just got to have to see things as it is. With that being said, I think Moicano has lost to worse competition, arguably, and I think Jalen Turner is really just going to keep him on the end of his punches, keep him in that machete range, and just light into him. I think it's going to be slow. I don't think it's going to first round KO. I think Jalen's going to slowly build throughout the fight, and I really don't think Moicano is going to have any real way of like handling it. We're talking about a 5 inch reach advantage. We're talking about a 4 inch height advantage, and that comes with real power, real power. Jalen Turner got that scary power, bro. You know, it's sad, but I'm going Jalen Turner via second round KO. Moving up in the card, Sadiq Youssef versus Diego Lopez. I like Diego Lopez. I like Youssef. Of course, I would love to see Diego Lopez go far in the sport. He seems to be the type of fighter that's kind of like disappeared or went like extinct. he's a fighter who doesn't talk a whole lot of shit. He makes short turnarounds. He fights on short notices, takes up dangerous fights. All the things we like as MMA fans and we should cherish and respect. That's what Diego Lopez is. Excuse me, but this fight is a clear step up in competition. Not to say he didn't do well against that Russian guy. I forgot his name, but Sadiq Youssef is good everywhere. And he is not bad. He doesn't have any one weakness, but there's things that can go wrong with this fight. Even though I am picking Sadiq Youssef because he has more experience when it comes to, really technical strikers, like really great strikers like Barboza, Brendan Allen, Kalaho, whatever his name is, and Caceres. I really do think that the scariest part of this fight for Youssef is going to be Diego Lopez's jiu-jitsu. He is fucking crafty with it. He will snatch up submissions. Just you give this guy an opportunity, he will take it. Now it's not. I see this fight as like a 50-50, more like maybe a 55-45. But I can see Diego Lopez winning. I can see Youssef winning. In these situations, you have to think to yourself, who's more likely, who's have the more proven game, and that for me is Youssef. I would love to see Diego Lopez go far in this sport, but I don't think he's faced the similar level of competition Sadiq Youssef faced over and over and over. I see this fight going the distance, and I see Sadiq Youssef just slightly being better everywhere the fight goes. Like when they get into the grappling exchanges, I think he's able to buck them off and get in top control, get some grounded pound maybe off, or maybe some just control time. I really think this fight goes to the decision. I think the most well-rounded man is going to win this. So I see a decision win for Youssef. Moving up in the card. Holly, fucking vagabonds, yeah. Holm versus Kayla, the fucking roid monster, Kayla Harrison. A 42-year-old Kayla Harrison versus a 155-pound woman gold medalist for judo in Kayla Harrison. Which fighter do you think is gonna win? It's kind of sad. Once upon a time, I would have picked Holly Holmes to beat the Judoku Olympian. It's almost like she's done it before in Rousey, but those days are gone. She's 100% past her prime. She's 40 fucking two. You ain't Glover, little bro. All right, you're not Randy Couture, little bro. Let's put it how it is. Holly Holm's been able to beat the new crop. New, I say new crop like they're actually new. New crop of female MMA fighters by being slightly athletic and knowing how to do a head and arm throw. There's a reason head and arm throws work in MMA at the female levels because most of them are shit. But you run in a brick wall in Kayla Harrison because she's a genuine MMA fighter. First off, she's big. She's fucking big. She's not a small woman in the slightest. Second off, she's a real deal, legit gold medalist in judoku. This woman knows her shit. Go watch her Olympic run. Go watch her Olympic run for the gold medal. She's hitting different types of shit. The the shit she's hitting on these women who genuinely know how to strike, not strike, but genuinely know how to grapple and genuinely know how to hit takedowns, I don't think these MMA broads are ready for it. I genuinely don't think it, especially when you combine it in the frame that Kayla Harrison has. I know they're the same height and all, but Kayla Harrison got that intense body frame. Like she has that Hulk Hogan frame. If you would have told me this is Hulk Hogan's like daughter from some baby mom, I would believe you. I just don't think a 42-year-old Holly Holm who's, kind of lost a step with her boxing and, kind of has mid-level judo and jiu-jitsu. I don't think she beats a 155-pound Kayla Harrison. I know she's lost to some questionable opponent in PFL, but I really do think Kayla Harrison is too strong. She's too skilled, and, to really get beat by Holly Holm. I see this going to a 30-27 decision for Holly Holm. Of course, she's not going to get a finish because she's a female MMA fighter. They never do. When you pick a female MMA fighter to get a decision, they almost never do. It's like a curse. Calvin Kattar versus Aljamain, fake it till you make it, Sterling. Now this is an interesting fight for many different reasons. Aljamain Sterling is coming up after getting knocked the fuck out by Sean O'Malley after trying to rush a takedown, and he's fighting. 40-year-old looking, only in the face, Calvin Kattar, coming off of a 2 fight losing skid with a knee injury. That's the type of shit that puts a 34-year-old out of the game. He's coming back at 36. Coming back at 36, knee injury, 2 fight losing skid. He's never really fought a lot of capable grapplers. Think about how many capable grapplers Calvin Kattar has fought. Genuinely think about it. I had to go back in his record. His last two capable grapplers he fought was Chris Fishgold, yes, his name, who's now 6-1 in his last. He's sorry, 1-6 in his last seven, and a young Renato Moicano who beat him by decision. I think Aljamain Sterling coming up big, big for the featherweight division. Strong. Good wrestler. I know people make fun of him D3, but I really think he's a good wrestler and solid jujitsu. I think he's going to, kind of do what he did to Peter Yan, and he's just kind of edge his way to getting him on his back, or edging his way to like grabbing a knee and running the pipe and getting him down and taking his back. And once Aljo's on your back, there's one or two things gonna happen. He's gonna get the underhooks. He's gonna move your arm and boom, just like that rear naked choke, or you're about to be sitting down for 5 hard minutes of Aljo doing nothing but collecting not ground control, control time, man, brutal control time. That's gonna make him win an easy decision. But that being said, genuinely, I genuinely do think that Aljamain Sterling's grappling is going to be a little too much for old man Qatar, especially coming off that knee injury. That knee injury, it really does put most MMA fighters out for good. I'd love to see Calvin Qatar got one more in him and beat, Aljamain Sterling in an entertaining striking fest, but I just don't see it happening. Aljo Sterling by decision. Moving up, Yuri Prohaschek versus Alexander Rakic. My Pookie Bear, my Samurai Pookie Bear, Yuri. I fucking love Yuri. He's a great fighter. Go back and watch his rising cards back when he was a young prospect. They're so fucking fun. Every single one of his fights are fun. It's kind of sad what's happened to his shoulder injury that kind of put him out for a year. The results of his last fight between him and Alex Pereira with the I guess you can call it TKO, KO, I guess, whatever, where he went in for a bad takedown, just got hammer fist to the side of the head. I kind of am a little worried about Yuri coming back this soon, but it's that base samurai instinct that can't he literally cannot stop. He has to come back soon. It's either he comes back and makes a short turnaround, or he locks himself in a dark room for another like week. I gotta choose one, but the guy he's coming back against is Alexander Rakic. I know Alexander Rakic. Most people don't know him. Fuck, I barely know him. This guy fights like once a year and then disappears. You know, I think Yuri's unpredictable style, his wild, unpredictable style, as powerful as it may be, and as strong as rangy as he is, and his kicks and his uppercuts are so good. I genuinely don't think that game that game he's gonna play isn't gonna work with Rakic. I think Rakic is way too well rounded. I think he keeps it basic. I think he keeps it at range. I think Rakic lights him up with ones and twos. That Yuri's he's gonna try to do that weird shovel uppercut shit, and it's just not gonna work. Alexander Rakic is gonna get back to the fence and then like circle out when he tries to cut him off. I think Alexander Rakic is gonna hit him with legs kicks, and I don't think Yuri's gonna try to check him. God forbid. And I think he avoids the clinch with Yuri. I think Yuri's gonna be stronger. But that being said, I also see Alexander Rakic. If Yuri does some dumb shit, leaves himself both and like leaves himself on one leg, he will shoot a takedown and get him down. I think this fight ends by Alexander Rakic somehow getting the takedown, whether it was out, in the open, or Yuri, lets himself down, or maybe Yuri tags him and he shoots a panic takedown, whatever. I think Alexander Rakic gets Yuri in a position and just ground pounds him out. I say TKO in the third round for Alexander Rakic. Real sad, man. My Pookie Bear. I would love to be wrong, bro. Sorry. I shouldn't be laughing at the main card opener for UFC 300. No, it's not the big. The main card opener, and it's very deserving and warranted fighters of, and who can forget him? Cody Brundage versus Bo Nickel. I'm gonna be real blunt with this one. They do not deserve to be on the main card. And this is coming from a man who really doesn't care how the card's set up. But if you're going by, oh, it should, increase in magnitude as it goes up, they shouldn't be here. It should be either Cody Garbrandt and Figueiredo here or Yuri versus Rakic here. They should not be on this main card. I'm also just going to say it how it is. Bo Nickel beats the fuck out of Cody Brundage. Brundage looks like a fucking idiot. Brundage has been brought in to lose to Bo Nickel, right? Brundage, Brundage's only job is to be a slightly harder test than Woodburn. I want you to think about that for a moment. And I think this fight goes the same fucking way Woodburn goes. I think I think Bo keeps feinting with his hips about almost shooting a takedown, and then while Brundage is worried about, oh God, is this man gonna blast a takedown on me? While that's happening, Bo Nickel's just gonna fucking light him up with hooks, and Brundage's big stupid brain, he's not gonna be able to stop it, man. I think even if let's say things go awry and somehow Brundage survives it or he, dodges it or starts early and starts throwing back heat, Bo Nickel has that wrestling degree to just smack you down and get you in a takedown, bro. And I don't think Brundage is going to be smart enough with his, like, um, how to return to his feet fast enough or to be able to defend Bo Nickel's submission game. I really think this is just a free W for Bo. That being said, I think this is a slightly harder test than the some of the opponents he was facing, but this guy is 10-1 and was a D2 wrestler versus arguably the GOAT of college wrestling in Bo Nickel. This fight's going exactly how you think it's going. Bo Nickel versus Bo Nickel via first round KO. Like, just look at the odds of this fight, bro. You got to realize who came here to win and who did. My second Pookie Bear, Charles Charles Du Bronx Oliveira versus Armen Saryukian. This, I know, I'm picking against both my Pookie Bears on this fucking card. It's tearing me apart, man. I can't take this shit. Carl, Charles Oliveira, he's 35. He's hitting that expiration date where you see a lot of fighters go down. I know people are gonna be like, well, the old dogs of the lightweight have been defeating the newcomers, and I'm like, yeah, that's true, but I think this one's different. I think Armen Saryukin has been so talented from such an early age with such good finishing ability that I do not think a guy like Charles Oliveira who gets chinned in fights all the fucking time, who gets taken down because he doesn't really stop takedowns, or he gets pushed over or leaves himself open. I don't think you can do that with a man like Armen. This Armen brought Islam to one of the hardest fights he had ever seen at like 23. I don't think you can do that with a guy like his with Armen, right? Like let's say it how it is. He doesn't. Sometimes Charles Oliveira doesn't defend a takedown. He always gets rocked in almost every single one of his fights except the Beneil fight. But even then, he got taken down because he didn't really fight the takedown and wanted to fight him and guard. That's something that's really stupid. You know, I bet if Armin shoots a takedown, I bet Charles is gonna be over there trying to get a triangle. And Armin being Armin, some big, strong Caucasus wrestler, he's gonna break out of that triangle and slowly get up on Charles and get some type of submission or ground and pound. I just do not see this fight going the distance, especially with a guy who has the much finishing potential as Armin. Charles Oliveira always, every single one of his fights, he looks like he's getting close to lose and then bounce back. That's something I do love about his fights, but that's reality. I don't think you can do that with a guy like Armin. I don't think that can be done. If Armin smells blood in the water, he's gonna finish you. If he rocks you, he's gonna beat you up against the fence, then shoot a takedown and slam you on your back, right? If you get rocked and you fall on the ground, he's gonna blast. He's gonna try to pass your guard and smash your head in, or he's gonna try to get you in some type of submission. All right, you can't do the shit you're doing with Michael Chandler with Armin Tsarukyan. All right, I see this fight going to, I say, round round two KO. I'm sorry, Pookie Bear. Now this fight, you know, um, Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway for the UFC BMF title belt. Interesting fight, real interesting fight. Max Holloway coming traveling up a division. He's packed on the pounds. He said this time instead of just kind of becoming a fat flyweight, featherweight, whatever. He's actually built himself up to the division. He's actually coming up a proper way, the right way, so his body's more accustomed to the weight. But I don't think you could have picked a worse opponent than new age Justin Destruction Gaethje. This man just got done ripping apart Fiziev and then changed up his entire style to fight fucking Dustin Poirier and got a first round fucking head kick KO, bro. We're like, think about this one for a moment. Max Holloway probably has as much power in his hands as Colby fucking Covington, but for some reason you're allowed to laugh and mock Colby Covington for having a pillow fist. If you say the same about Max Holloway, people will be like, "No, actually, he got that power in his hands." No, 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 he doesn't. He's capable of rocking people by putting on combinations. But we have two problems there. First, Justin Gaethje is way more patient than he used to be. We're not talking about the same Justin Gaethje. This is a Justin Gaethje who's learned to take things slow, who's learned to fight smartly. He's not going to be going in there winging uppercuts and winging hooks and just trying to do as much damage as possible. I don't see that happening no more. The second thing is Justin has a pretty good chin. I know people are going to talk shit. Blah, 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 blah. He got chin here, he got rocked here. No, listen, Justin Gaethje has a kind of underrated chin and alongside that underrated chin, he has arguably the highest amount of power we've ever seen at lightweight. Dustin said it. Dustin said, "Yeah, Justin Gaethje is the hardest hitter he's ever fought." Khabib said it. He said, "Yeah, Justin Gaethje is the hardest fighter. He's like hardest punching wise fighter he's ever fought." You know, and you ask other people, it's like Michael Chandler, who's the hardest fighter you ever fought? He says it was Dustin Poirier and then Justin Gaethje. The guy who beat Max Holloway, Dustin, twice, right, said it's Justin Gaethje without a shadow of a doubt. I just don't see this fight going that way. I think this is a horrible fight. I think the weight's gonna be is gonna make Max Holloway slower when in an opposite world, like his main advantage is speed. That's what he wants to do. But I think if you combine Justin Gaethje's leg kicking and the way he kicks like unlike most MMA fighters, he uses his shin, which is a little harder because you have to get more in range of the fighter, and they always counter you and stuff. But using your shin, the hardest part of your shin to hit people in their weakest part, like he'll hit them in the weakest part or right above the thigh or like almost on the side of their shin. It's so fucking vicious, man. Justin Gaethje's leg kicks. I know he doesn't throw them as much as he used to, but they're so vicious. I just don't think a guy like Max Holloway, who doesn't leg check, like checks leg kicks very well, is going to be able to put up with Justin Gaethje. And Justin Gaethje, he's a new man. He's not going to be going in there wild. People really think that Justin Gaethje is going to go in there wild like a bear and throw hooks and do this and do that. No, this man's calm. He's collected now, and the scary thing is he's probably more dangerous now. I think a guy like Max Holloway, who I won't say entirely relies on his chin, because that's BS. Max Holloway does have slick boxing, right? But he does get hit clean. He was getting hit clean by Calvin Kattar. If you don't think Justin Gaethje, if Justin Gaethje is able to put on a clinic on both Dustin and fucking Fiziev, Muay Thai master Fiziev, what do you think he's gonna do to Holloway? Seriously, what do you think he's gonna do? And I think the blueprint of beating Holloway has already been written. I don't think it's anything new. I think the blueprint to beating Holloway was written by Conor, and then Conor used it, and then Poirier used it. Early, suffocating pressure. Give Max no room to start up or get going, and that's how you beat Max Holloway. And I think Justin Gaethje is going to do that exact fucking thing because he's fought one of the guys who beat um, Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier. And you saw how that went. I really think this is going to be the worst of both worlds for Max Holloway. He's fighting one of the hardest hitters at lightweight. He's fighting one of the hardest leg kickers ever at lightweight. And Justin Gaethje is a great D1 wrestler. So anything that Max Holloway can do, it's going to be difficult. Of course, Max Holloway is going to have the kicks, but trying to shoot a takedown on Justin Gaethje is not going to fucking work, bro. It's just not going to fucking work. I just don't see this working. And a lot of people are going, well, underdog pick Max Holloway. And it's like, I'm seeing more people pick Max Holloway than I'm seeing pick Justin Gaethje. I might make a second video about this. This is how strongly I feel about this. Because, you have MMA Guru and who's it, Bedtime MMA all picking Max Holloway. And I'm like, I think this is a bad fight. I think this is the fight that Max Holloway gets his chin cracked. He got that Maui Maui skull. He got that Maui Maui chin, bro. He got that volcanic, mountain sea island crater chin, bro. Like, and I think Justin Gaethje has the power to break it. It's real sad. I'm going by what did I put it down on Tapology? You gotta remember, fourth round TKO for Justin Gaethje, bro. The cardio is gonna be hard of overcoming Max Holloway, but I think Justin Gaethje is just gonna break him slowly, bro. I think he's gonna break him slowly. He's gonna be looking to end him with like head kicks. He's gonna be able to he's either gonna try to break him to the body, get or break his legs, or try to like slow the fight down. Hit him with some strong shots, but not all the way through, and then randomly like kind of lunge in with like a head kick or some super hook and break that iron chin we see of Max Holloway. Moving up in the card, Zhang, moving up in the card, Zhang Weili versus Xiaonan Yang. You know, sorry. I will, let me just dig in on both these women real quick. I can't tell them apart, but I would ask where Wei Li was born, but I know she wasn't. This motherfucker was born in a she wasn't born. She was made in a Chinese Communist Republic bunker off the coast of fucking Taiwan. Her ass was getting a factory manufacturing number and not a birthday. Same goes for Zhao Wang. Like she is a duplicate. These are two fucking same people. These are the people you see in Blade Runner. Like these are Blade Runners, or these motherfuckers were made in a lab. Like I said, Zhang Weili was made in a CCP bunker off the coast of Taiwan, bro. You know, I feel like that Zhang Weili could open Yan's phone using facial recognition. You feel what I mean? Seriously though, Zhang Weili is a beast. She's unlike any other fighter we've really seen. She has power. She has cardio. She's strong as fuck. She has a good chin. She has submission abilities while having good wrestling. And that's rare for a foreign fighter to have both, as well as being one of the strongest female MMA fighters we've ever seen. No Kayla Harrison. She's not built like her, but she got that Mandarin strength with her. She's that red dragon personified, bro. I really don't think scoring a KO against tribal lesbian Jessica Andrade is title shot warranting off of Zhang. But what do I know? She really thinks because she can beat up some tribal lesbian that she can beat up our girl CCCP, fucking Android 11 Zhang Weili, bro. Like Zhang Weili bench presses in Nagano, bro. You ain't beating her, little bro. Zhang Weili via decision, because 90% of female fights end in decision, even the good fighters. It's more like 60, but fuck it. UFC main card main, all right? This is Alex Pereira versus Jamahal Hill for the light heavyweight strap. Finally, we're getting multiple defenses on a light heavyweight strap. Praise be to the God, but God's currently testing the last defending fucking champion in John Jones. I'm gonna say it how it is. I do not rate failed athletes who get into MMA highly. I mean failed. I don't mean like, oh, he had a successful career and then he went into it. Like, I wouldn't say that about Falk. But the fat idiot in Jamahal Hill, who's a failed basketball player, who struggled against 42 or 44-year-old Glover, I don't rate him highly. I don't. And that's coming from me. I think Alex Pereira, he's very large for the division. He has an incredible amount of power. Don't get me wrong, I didn't like how he brought 40-year-old Yan to a decision. I don't like that. I don't care what you have to say. Yan's a 40-year-old kickboxer who was never the best kickboxer, and he brought him to Alex Pereira to a decision. I don't like that. But you know what I don't like? I don't like Jamahal Hill being hit by the same combinations in the Glover fight over and over and not changing. He threw the same combinations and the same kicks, the same punches without any variety in that fight. You are fighting an old man who is just coming off of a brutal loss to Yuri, and you are throwing the same fucking competition, the same kicks and the same punches, the same combinations. And you're falling for the same combinations and the same kicks and the same punches from Glover. I do not like that at all. You know, I do not rate that highly. And you're talking about it's even worse because who's training Alice Pereira? Oh, the man you fought and brought to, I think it was a TKO. Was it a TKO? I can't even remember. I honest to God cannot remember. What was it? Let me look this up real quick. What was this? He brought Jamahal Hill brought Glover to a decision. Yeah, just as I remember, he brought him to a decision. He brought this 40-year-old man to a fucking decision. And that same 42-year-old man if it's training the guy who's currently the champion. And this is all not talking about the fact that Jamahal Hill is coming off of an Achilles tear. By the way, he's coming. The failed basketball player Jamahal Hill failed at playing basketball and tore his fucking Achilles, and that's why he had to vacate the belt, and that's why Alex Pereira is currently the champion. Isn't that fucking hilarious? I just even Jamal Hill does have a chance in fighting Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira, he throws a lot of hooks, he throws a lot of uppercuts, he doesn't throw a whole lot of straight punches. And the worst thing you can do for a person who throws a lot of straight punches is put the jab on him, which Jamal Hill does have a decent jab and straight punches. And straight punches are Jamal Hill's like they're his bread and butter. So it does kind of it's like he has a chance. Jamal Hill, his best punches are his straight punches, and the straight punches are the ones that almost always they always beat looping punches. And Alex Pereira's favorite punches are looping punches. But when you think about it, Jamal Hill, he's openly talking about, he was 240 in the fight camp leading up to Alex Pereira. He's talking about, oh, I'm this, I'm that, he's talking about I'm in a better space than ever while shit talking fans on Twitter. Like, this is not the shit I want to see from a returning champion from an injury like an Achilles tear, one of the most important ligaments in your fucking leg, like that can end your career. We're trusting he comes back not only in shape but comes back in prowess as well, especially against a Glory 2 divisional and a UFC 2 divisional champ in Alex Pereira. I just don't see it happening, man. I really just don't see it happening. I'm going Alex Pereira by let me think about this for a moment. I'm going Alex Pereira by third round TKO. No, KO. Just make it KO. I think he's gonna get him against the fence. I think Jamal Hill is gonna try to aim for something. I think Alex Pereira is gonna dodge through it and just beat him up while Jamal Hill like guards up against the fence before getting kind of not like fully KO'd, like just kind of beat up until the point where he kind of like ducks down to avoid the beating. And when the ref calls it off, he goes jumper, jumper, and then gives the belt to fucking Glover. That's my UFC 300 prediction. I would talk about making a 300, UFC 301 prediction, but I won't. Not for the time being. That card is kind of poo poo. I would love to see if Alex Pereira can make a quick turnaround for that fight. That would be incredible. But that's here nor there for the time being. You know, I do. If I had to guess a lock of the card, if anybody, it would either be Kayla Harrison versus Holly Holm, or Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage. But you can tell by the odds of Bo Nickel that no one thinks Cody Brundage has a chance. And that kind of is disrespectful because he kind of does have power, and he's not the worst wrestler in the world. He's D2. And D2 people act like D2 are the worst ones. They're not. Aljo's a D3, but there's certain fights I hope I'm wrong about. I hope I like both Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway. They're both very entertaining fighters. I like both Charles Oliveira and Armen Tsarukyan, even though I want Charles Oliveira is my Pookie bear. He will meet Islam, Champa do Bronx, but it's far from reality. Right now, he would have to do a lot to get there, and especially with Islam fighting maybe Dustin soon, I guess in July maybe or something like that. It's hard to say because it's like Justin, the guy who beat Dustin, Justin is fighting Holloway, and it's like, if that fight does go the different distance, and if Justin does win, he's gonna get take damage. He's gonna have to sit out, and Justin's already said he doesn't like taking short turnarounds. So this whole fight shit is just stupid a little right now. He's fighting the loser who only has one win against a number 14 ranked uh um Santes Denis or whatever his name is, right? Like it's kind of silly. If Charles Oliveira does beat Armen, which I don't think he will, I think he should be getting the title shot over him. But it all depends on Islam's scheduling right now. That'll be all for the video. I might make a video soon enough about why I think Justin Gaethje will beat Max Holloway. Because I'm hearing some wild things from fighters, man. I'm hearing wild things from fighters, from commentators, UFC commentators, YouTubers. And I kind of just have to stop it, bro. I gotta put it in where it's warranted. Our little Mongoloid, Justin Gaethje, he's gonna get it done. That'll be all for the video, though. Like and subscribe if you like the video. You have a great day, bro. Bye.